It's sad that it's taken this many decades to do something that's right, standing up for the people. People don't realize that the EPA there is there to protect us, but when it comes down to it, the politicians bind the hands of the powers that are there to protect us. It makes absolutely no sense to have all these children in our communities that are suffering that live downwind and downstream of these plants. It's completely irresponsible, and it should be considered criminal in what's happening to our families and our communities. The fact is, Will County has one of the worst water supplies in the nation. It's one of the top 10 worst, and that's the public water supply. So none of the private wells near these areas are protected.
Yes.
There's plenty of people that are enduring heart transplants, liver transplants, lupus, many forms of cancer, those that are survived. And the kids are the ones that are being greatly impacted by this. Not to mention property devaluation while these companies get away with disputing their taxes. Our representatives are not representing us. They're representing the money that they're getting from these companies.
Well, listen, let me ask the three of you. Have you and your individual organizations reached out to Congressman Kinzinger?
I met with him in Washington when I went with Mr. Stanton and many others, and unfortunately a week later the knife was in the back for the residents of Will County in the Joliet area.
Yes, and also a number of folks from our organizations as well as local residents, including Deacon Bill Davis from the Mount Zion Baptist Church, met with Representative Kinzinger last week. And, he reaffirmed his position on this. He believes this is a state's issue. The state should be in charge of taking care of it. And, frankly, we told him the state has known about this for quite a while, and they've done nothing. And so really every day that goes by, like Tammy was saying, without those federal safeguards in place, this will continue.
All right. And so the call to action, ladies and gentlemen, those who are listening and those who have been involved with this before or know individuals who have been affected, on Wednesday night, Tuesday night, August 16th from 5 to 7, there's a meeting taking place at the Sacred Heart Church right on the south end of Joliet, Illinois. Oh, boy. Do you have that address?
Yes. It's 337 South Ottawa.
Okay. All right, and so that's sort of the pre-meeting to the big rally that's going to take place on Wednesday, August 17th, between the hours of 12:30 and 1:30 in the afternoon at United States Representative Adam Kinzinger's office, which is 2701 Black Road, Suite 201 in Joliet. And, of course, the purpose is to sort of put a little pressure on him and let him know that people do care about this matter. People have been affected by the coal ash and the unclean water, and that he really should consider representing his constituents in this matter. Anything else before we go, guys?
May I add something, Marilyn? If folks can't make it to the rally, the reason why we're in such a mad rush to do this and try to help the people is because when they go back in September, they're going to be voting to strip away the powers for the EPA and strip away their funding.
Okay.
And without that, we have no safeguards at all whatsoever. What's gone on out there in Will County is a devastating tragedy, and our kids should not be collateral damage for their economic benefits.
Mm-hmm.
It's really important to make a strong statement now because they'll be voting both on the funding for EPA's budget in the Interior Appropriations Bill, and in there they have a language that prohibits EPA from developing any funding for any regulation that would mandate requirements on the states.
It just doesn't make sense to me, Jeff.
And then there's another bill that has been reported out of the House Energy and Commerce Committee, which strips the agency of the authority to promulgate those standards.
And it's all about dollars. I mean, we saw that in the hearings last fall when, on the other side of the issue, all the others. And, I understand people want to protect their livelihood and things of that nature. But as Tammy said, at the cost of the lives of children and families. And there are other alternatives. Right, Tammy?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, there's other alternatives.
But they don't have to dump ash right into the water at the bottom of a quarry like they've done at the Lincoln Corey. That was totally avoidable. The contamination of people's wells there was completely avoidable with very simple will and just some exertion of responsibility.
Oh, boy.
And that's what's not happening here. You've got 2/3 of the ash ponds in the state of Illinois are totally unlined and have no monitoring and any cleanup standards they're adhering to. These are basic injustices that need to be stopped. And
Absolutely.
Adam Kinzinger needs to be told not to vote to perpetuate them.
Well, if it was you or me dumping toxins in our neighbor's yard, we go to jail for it.
Oh, my goodness.
And the fact is they get permitted and dodge every avenue that they can to do the right thing by the people. If nobody can make it to there, I suggest that they all email, call Adam Kinzinger's office as much as they can, either in Joliet or Washington, D.C., and I can send you the information so people can let him know where they stand in protecting their families. They claim it's about jobs. Well, the people that are working there are also collateral damage. And we need jobs and safety and protections for all of us, not just for the guys that are taking money from the coal operators.
That's right.
And I'll just say one last thing specifically. The reason that we're focusing on Representative Kinzinger is he sits on the Energy and Commerce Committee and voted to report that bill out that would strip the agency of the authority, H.R. 2217, and then he has earlier voted for an amendment to the continuing resolution in the House to strip it of the funding for finishing the regulation, only allow it to adopt guidelines. So that's why we're trying to draw people's attention to him, because he's been one of the leaders in the effort to strip this authority from the agency.
Oh, boy, that's amazing.
Absolutely.
All right.
It's sad to have communities like Joliet and other places across the board. The only help that they see is more cancer treatment centers. And people like Kinzinger and the heads of these companies pose for photo ops in front of the cancer treatment centers.
Oh, gee, Tammy, I love you, girl.
Listen, love you too, Marilyn.
I have to be honest. I'm having some issues with my blog. Otherwise I would have this on my blog within the next 24 hours or so. But I still want you to send it to me because I am working it out. But in the between time, whose website can folks go to get the pertinent information in case they can't make it to the rally?
They can go to Adam Kinzinger's website. I have his phone number for Joliet right here. It's phone number 815-729-2308. Feel free to call him, fax him, email him. You can also call the Washington, D.C. office and let him know where you stand. He should be standing up for the people that he represents that voted him.
Yeah, and Marilyn, you can also see information probably later this evening on the Prairie Rivers Network website, and that website is prairierivers.org.
Got it. Okay.
All right. The Environmental Integrity Project also has a website, and www.environmentalintegrity.org. It has a lot of information about coal ash and what's going on in the Congress with it as well.
Wonderful. Listen, guys, I appreciate you stopping by. Love what you're doing. Again, there's a meeting taking place on Tuesday, August 16th from 5 to 7 p.m. at Sacred Heart Church, 337 South Ottawa Street in Joliet. And then the next day from 12:30 to 1:30 in the afternoon, there will be a rally at Congressman Adam Kinzinger's office. That's 2701 Black Road, Suite 201 in Joliet. And you can go to the following websites, www.prairierivers.org for more information, as well as www.environmentalintegrityproject.org. And also, surely, you can go to Adam Kinzinger's Kinzinger's website to find out more about this as well. Guys, thank you. Appreciate you. Wish you the best. Hopefully we'll see you at one of the two, if not both events.
All right.
Thank you, Marilyn,
Thank you.
Thank you for speaking up for the people.
No problem. Talk to you guys soon.